Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good today and that you're having a really good day. I thought I could come on here today as I know some of you guys have been asking me about Gyokeres, and I thought I would obviously talk a bit about that. Obviously talk about a few other things that have been going on regarding Arsenal, and of course if you guys do have any questions in them, send them through as well as I chat about Arsenal today. Big up yourself. Hey, hope you're good. Good to see you. Sorry, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, so I just wanted to say big up to yourself, obviously. Big up to everyone here that will be dropping in any questions, any comments, as well as I'm really excited today to chat with you all, obviously, about the latest news regarding Arsenal and Gyokeres. Obviously, with Gyokeres, I did a video, I think it must have been a few days ago now, and I obviously said about him that it seems as though he was going to get his medical on Friday. So I don't actually think this is what's happened, but I'm obviously going to just read you information that I've looked at as well about Gyokeres, because it does definitely seem like it is developing in a really good way, but it's just a situation that is unfortunately taking so long. And as fans, I feel like I'm running out of patience myself right now. So I want to step in as soon as possible. It's just a really frustrating situation. I think Sporting are quite difficult to negotiate with, to deal with, to be honest with you guys. So obviously I'm going to just go and talk about Gyokeres now. Obviously big up to you guys that will be joining me today. Like I said, I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys want to send in. I'm more than happy to go through that. I will obviously speak a bit about Mosquera as well. There has been an update on that. So like I said, obviously Gyokeres I will be speaking about now. So yeah, hope you guys obviously enjoy my video. Please do obviously make sure you are liking this video and subscribing too before we get started now. This is obviously what I've heard. So Arsenal are closing in on the signing of Gyokeres. Advanced talks from signature have been ongoing for the last fortnight with a verbal agreement worth €73.5 million, which is obviously 63.7 million in English money. Since last weekend. Now, the reason for discussions continue has centred around the add-ons structure of two parties demanding different things. Throughout this delay, the Gunners have announced one new signing, which we know now, with Madueke, and obviously we are waiting to hear the Mosquera announcement soon. Obviously, Mosquera, I think there has been a few delays. It's so crazy because when we saw Madueke announcement, we did actually see a leaked picture of Mosquera, so that is obviously a bit crazy too. But yeah, obviously, this transfer has been a little bit. It's definitely closing with Gyokeres. It's just taking a bit of time with obviously the money situation and that. So Arsenal will definitely get this announcement done soon. I just want to read out obviously what has been said. A formal agreement is close with Gyokeres late into Friday evening. Journalist Ben Jacobs delivered a Gyokeres transfer update that made Arsenal fans. We obviously saw an X. He wrote Arsenal now close to a full agreement with Sporting for Gyokeres. Hope is for a breakthrough over the weekend with a small portion of add-ons under discussion, and Gyokeres is waiting for permission to undergo a medical. So obviously it has, I think it's definitely been agreed, but the medical hasn't happened. I know a lot of us heard it was going to happen on Friday, but I think Sporting wanted a bit more than what they were sort of saying, and that's definitely been a bit of a problem. But like I said, the package is going to be €63.5 million plus a €10 million as well. So yeah, that's obviously the small details left for that to happen. So I think it's just it's going to happen. It really will happen. But I think it's just about the money situation. These add-ons have taken a bit longer than what the club probably expected. I don't think he will be here for the pre-season tour, which is obviously a frustrating one. So let me just read you out what I've obviously heard. Gyokeres, who is currently in Sweden, will not be part of Arsenal's travelling heading to Singapore. Obviously, they've headed today to Singapore, so he hasn't been a part of that on Saturday for our first game in the pre-season tour. So it is a shame that he won't be here. I think we could have, not Arsenal, I think Sporting could have moved it a bit quicker, but at least it's been agreed now. But it would be nice to see him play, in the pre-season tour. From what I've read as well, it says here it is suggested that he won't be around for the second game overseas against Newcastle on the July 31st, and Arsenal are finalising the deal with Sporting striker Gyokeres. The club reached agreement over a fixed fee of 55 million on Sunday, with Arsenal being expected to pay 8.5 million add-on. So it's definitely progressing in a really positive way, but it's my god, it has taken so long, and can't tell you guys how frustrating this has all been. I mean, for both parts, but I think Arsenal just want to get it done. We need to get our players for pre-season. I know we've just announced Madueke, which is obviously great, and he's our player now, but I would like us to move this on a bit more faster than what we're doing. So before I go into any more detail, I just want to go through all your comments. Obviously, big up to all you guys that are watching this. If you guys are new, please do make sure you are subscribing. And like I said, feel free to drop in any questions and thoughts, and I will go through them. Big up AMW Football. Hey, Soph, how's life? I'm good today, thank you. How are you doing? Good to see you in here. Carlos Costa says, "Hi, Soph. It's been Dragon Coat. We can see him soon at the Emirates. Yeah, this situation has been ongoing for quite a while now. It's been very frustrating. I'm going to come back to this, Aldi. I'm going to come back to this in 2 seconds. Let me just go through this. Big up Victor. I hope you're good. Good to see you here. Big up John Arsenal. Hey, Soph. Am I the only one who feels that Madueke will outperform many wingers in the Premier League? I hope he does. I really do hope he does. I really hope he does really well at Arsenal. I'm really hoping that he can prove people wrong. Looks like we won't be seeing Gyokeres in Singapore. We'll have to wait a bit longer. Yeah, they're making us wait, which is so frustrating. So I want to just address this because it's really bizarre, this situation with Mosquera, because I was reading and it did seem like he should have been announced by the weekend, and there has been problems with his medical, and they've not really told us. They're not going to tell us much information about that. So let me just read you about what's happened with Square. So there was some issues with his medical which can't be discussed due to medical confidentiality. Everything should be fine. However, that's why there's been a delay in any announcement. They just have to overcome the complication. But obviously he is going to be an Arsenal player, but there has been some complications with his medical. But the weird thing about this is, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but there's been a leaked picture of him, in Arsenal top, like he's already there. I've heard that he posted that, Arsenal posted that instead of Madueke in one of the pictures. So I presume at that point it must be done. It's just taken a lot of time for it to be announced, and we are taking ages, aren't we, really, with this situation? It's been rather frustrating. Obviously the Gyokeres one's frustrating, but yeah, so it does seem as though he's going to join Arsenal from Valencia, which is an 18 million deal. But like you said, they're not going to tell us what the situation is, not going to tell us why the medical hasn't gone down right, and obviously that's obviously personal reasons, which is fair enough. I get they can't tell us that, but I hope we'll just see him get announced soon. I have heard that he will be announced before Tuesday, so I am curious to see when that will happen. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting conversation about what's been going on with that medical, but that's literally the latest on Mosquera. I think it will be announced pretty soon. It's just a medical situation that's happened with him, so that is obviously quite good. Now I just want to go through some questions I might have missed. Big up Ron. Why so much focus on just one player? Granted, a fingers crossed good one, but all other teams are doing a lot of transfers. Yeah, it does seem to be that Gyokeres is being the main target at the moment. Non-assisting Gyokeres would be lovely to see. Yeah, it really will. I can't wait to see that happen. I'm excited for Madueke. I know I've had my reservations and I've not been over the moon about the signing. When a player is Arsenal, I do like to see the positives. I do like to believe they will become a very good player. So, as I said, I had my reservations, but when you're an Arsenal player, you will get my support. The square will get done. If something isn't quite ready, Arsenal will have backups already. Yeah, definitely. I think it will be done because, as I said, we have seen some leaked pictures. It was a bit bizarre, but yeah, I think he is an Arsenal player. I think it's just going to take time for it to be announced. Arsenal do anyway like to, with their announcements, they do like to spread them out quite a while over the week. So I think we'll see it happening soon. But yeah, I think obviously the latest of Gyokeres, as I said, it's just a money situation. It's obviously broke down. I'm a bit gutted that he won't be part of the squad. Obviously, the team will flow out today for the preseason games, which obviously I think our preseason game might be on Wednesday next week. So obviously they need to get ready for that and get in that mindset of going and doing the best they can do. Obviously, I'm excited to see these new players for preseason, but it's just a shame because I'm so sure Gyokeres would have been raring to go, and I'm sure he just wants to get his head down and just play for Arsenal, especially in these preseason games. It gets you prepared. Obviously, I know Madueke hasn't travelled. Obviously, he's had a bit of a hectic schedule anyway, so I completely understand that. So yeah, obviously with Gyokeres, I generally don't know when that's going to be announced. I do think it's about. I think it will happen next week, but I think, as we've all said, it is dragging on and it is getting to a point where it is very frustrating because it is taking so long, and I think we're all just tired at this point. So yeah, the sooner we get this done, the better for me. Aldi, there's news that Arsenal are targeting both Xavi Simons and Eze. Do you believe they'll actually go for both? I think Arsenal will definitely bring someone in the attack after Gyokeres. Obviously Eze would be the one that I would go for. I don't know. I think we're going to have different options. I think if Eze doesn't go to plan, we do have to have a plan B, plan C. We have to have other options that we should go for. So obviously, I do think we'll bring an attacker. We really need to anyway, because that's gonna get us over the line. We've got quality in the team already, but we need to make sure we're improving and strengthening in the attack. So I don't think we'll go for both. I think we'll go for maybe one attacking player after Gyokeres, but I do think it's good, like you said, to have I mean, Xavi Simons as well, like other options. So I do hope that we will end up bringing someone. Obviously, at the moment, the focus has been on Gyokeres because he's that guy that we need at Arsenal. The striker is for me one of the most important signings this summer. Um, so I'm happy that we're obviously putting our focus in that, but ultimately we need to make sure that we are going to make the right signings and have another focus after Gyokeres is done, because we need to make sure we are bringing in other attacking options. So yeah, Eze I would really love, but if we can't get Eze, we do have to think about other players that we need to bring in. Realistically, Nani won't perform better than the rest of the Premiership wingers. He left because he saw the writing on the wall with the unproven teenager. Yeah, I think he probably left Chelsea because he's probably thinking to himself, it's a great opportunity for me to help Arsenal win stuff and get over that line next season. Because I think if you're an outsider, you're probably thinking Arsenal are quite close to, getting there. They're just not quite there yet. So I do think if you're looking at an Arsenal's perspective, we are quite close. We just need those finishing touches. We need those additions to the team. So I do think, like Arteta has said, he is got that experience in the Premier League. He's a Premier League proven player. And obviously I think that's, not a bad thing at all. So I just hope it works out for him. I really do. And let me know, guys, is my internet okay? Because it looks a little bit poor. Um I hope you guys my connection's okay, but it should be. I just want to go through your comments. I want to read out everyone's. To be honest, I don't expect much from Gyokeres since most of our goals came from wide areas. So I'll be happy if Madueke performs because he suits our wing focus style better than a striker. I mean, I said this. I think we shouldn't just rely on one player. I mean, there's going to be players that are going to have a big part to play next season, especially on new signings. I think you're not going to just get goals from a striker. You're going to get goals from all around the pitch, not just like one position. So obviously, for me, I hope that we are going to see players like obviously we know Saka gets us goals, and hopefully Madueke is going to have a big part to play in that as well. So yeah, I do think it's a good point as well. Obviously with Gyokeres, I expect him to maybe get 15 to 20 goals in his first season. When it's your first season, I'm never going to expect you to get like 30 goals. Obviously, we never know what he will do in his first season, but I think it's good to be realistic about his first season and not expect him to be at his best, because it's a new league. He's going to adapt to a new team and how we play. So obviously, I think I'm just going to see how it goes with his first season, and I'm sure he'll get even better. Gyokeres will get even better. Same with some of these players. I mean, Mendy as well. It's a different league to him, so I just hope he can do really well. And I'm interested to see how we will get on. But Yeah, I'm excited for our new signings, not just Gyokeres. I'm excited to see, Zubimendi. I'm excited to see Norgard. Obviously Kepa. We probably won't see a lot of Kepa, but when he does play, I'll be excited to see how he can perform. So, yeah, definitely is very exciting for Arsenal at the moment. I'm just reading, I can't remember if I've read this or not. I don't agree with Ron. He's a proven Premier League player, a Club World winner. He's going to smash it in at the carpet. Just see and wait and see one. I hope that's the case. I really do. Excited to see Zubi at the carpet, big player in that midfield. Yeah, he is a very big player, and I think it's so good that we've got him. I think it kind of goes under the radar because I think when we signed Madueke, I think it all went doom and gloom for fans. I think we weren't particularly over the moon about it, but obviously, Zubimendi is a great signing, and I can't wait to see him at Arsenal. And like I said, these preseason games are great to see some of these players, give it their chance to see what they've got. So I'm very excited to see Zubi for sure. Big up Kevin. Arsenal can get Eze today. They just need to pay the release fee. They have the money. They just don't seem to want him now. It's a really weird one with that because it seems Arsenal are interested in him, but I don't know why we're not doing anything about it. It's so frustrating. I know our focus has really gone on to Gyokeres, and I'm happy that we're going all in for Gyokeres, but I think we need to now focus on Eze or whoever we're going to bring in. I mean, I hope it is Eze. Rodrigo's definitely off the cards now, so we have to focus on Eze and get that job done and get him here to Arsenal. If we want to have a great season next season, if we want to win stuff, we need to bring Eze to the carpet and get it done. Um, Aldi, Gyokeres is an agile striker, not one to just wait for the ball. If Arteta uses him well, he can score from anywhere. It would have been a different story with Sesko. Yeah, I don't think many people would have been happy with Sesko, to be fair. I mean, Sesko wouldn't have been my first choice. I mean, I want other players other than Sesko. But I think with Gyokeres, I think he would be the real deal and he would definitely get you over that line. So, yeah, for me, I would be very happy with Gyokeres. You guys know I think he's a great player, so I would be quite happy. Um, Madueke plays very direct. I love taking on defenders. Under Arteta, I believe he can improve us a lot and become a top bringer, something Martinelli lacks. Yeah, I definitely know with Madueke's game, he's very direct and he's a great ball carrier. But I think the only thing that I do have my worry about him is like when he's going forward with the ball, when he's in the box, is his decision making good in the box, and that's going to be the most important thing because I remember people would say to me about Sterling that when he was in the box, he was great going forward, but in the box he struggled to do stuff there. And I feel as though I think all decision making is a big problem at the moment. I mean, I know Saka, I know certain players are really good at finishing their chances and creating something, and the free kicks. Declan Rice, he's great at that. We know these players can score goals like outside the box, in the box, and get different type of goals, but I just feel as though we need someone that's going to be very direct in the box and just be clinical. Clinical is the most important thing. So I'm not expecting Gyokeres to be clinical. I expect so many of these players that are bringing in to be clinical. Obviously, in midfield, you're not going to get as many goals, and I get that. I mean, I'm not expecting Zubimendi to get tons of goals, but I think it would be nice for us to get more goals in the midfield. Not obviously Rice does great at that anyway, but I think we need to get more goals from other positions. I mean, I know set pieces is going to be a great quality. I know Gabriel has been great at scoring headers and things in the box. So, yeah, I just hope we can get some more goals, not just from one player, but we can get it a lot more in the wingers as well. Big up Stephen Morrison. I hope you're good. Good to see you in the chat. Hey, we need Gyokeres 9 now. Gutted he hasn't been announced before we play the friendly games. Yeah, I agree. I think it has taken like a long time. Obviously, I don't think he's had his medical yet. I think the paperwork stuff, that stuff's happening this weekend, and then I assume next week that'll happen. So they are making us wait, but when it's announced, that'll feel like an amazing sign for sure. Big up yourself, Josh. Always good to see you here. Hope you are good. And obviously, if you want to send any questions, Josh, you're more than welcome, as I'll happily answer them as well. Big up Rune. I hope you're good. Good to see you in the chat. Let me just get your question up. Arsenal are just stubborn, having over 3/4 million, but want to bid 80 on Rodrigo. Why not finish what you started? I think it's a real tough thing with what's going on at the moment. I do agree with that. I think we have been stubborn. I think from what I've read, I think Arsenal have gone a bit further and wanted to put more money in, and that's been done, and then they've asked for more. I think Sporting, to be fair, are a bit of a pain to deal with, but I think for me, like you said, if we get that done, then that's gonna be the most important thing. So big up yourself as well. I do agree with you. I think with Eze, we just have to put that money down for him. We have to get that done for me, in my opinion. The sooner that happens, the better. So yeah, I hope that can really happen for Arsenal. Big up Ron. I'm concerned that Arsenal were almost there last season, but the rest of the team are making massive signings. When Victor has a tight hamstring, who does Arteta put on another midfielder? And that is a great point because we can never predict what's going to happen next season. Like we never would have thought Havertz would have been out, Saka would have been out, Odegaard would have been out, and these other players would have been out. You couldn't ever predict the future, and that's a great point. You have to prepare for Plan B. You have to prepare if things aren't going your way. What are you going to do next? And I think that's a great point because I don't think Arteta is thinking about that. For me, I think if Gyökeres, say January, Gyökeres had an injury and we have Havertz, we know Havertz is probably not going to take us on and get us that league title. I'm not just saying it's all on him, but a striker does play a massive part. I think our only sort of striker options really are, Mourinho can play there, but it's sort of Havertz, isn't it? So I think maybe I am being a bit over the top, but it would be nice to bring in another attacker that could probably play in that position. Would you have Martinelli? Having said that, Martinelli definitely suits that role as a striker, so obviously I'm interested to see if that's where he will play. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one for sure. Um, Big up PW. I think we need Eze and Rodrigo. Liverpool look strong. Man City will be better. Arteta needs to win a title. Top four isn't good enough. Yeah, absolutely, completely agree. Top four isn't good enough. We had to get it right this season. I think Liverpool, if anyone is going to get Rodrigo, I think it'll be Liverpool. I really think that'll happen. I do think that's like the option. I mean, if we're being honest, Liverpool have just won the league. They've improved. They've done this window very quick. They've started off really quick and been ruthless with their business. I mean, they're probably going to get rid of Diaz. They're probably going to replace him. They're probably going to, Nunez. So you've got Etike. I know they did want Isak. Isak could obviously go to Saudi, which I think would be a shame for him. So Liverpool are not messing around, and I think if you're a top player, if I'm Rodrigo, I'd be thinking, listen, Arsenal are a big club and Arsenal have improved and they've got some great quality players, but I would question, can they get over that line? And because there's not been evidence we can get over that line in recent years. I know we've obviously won the FA Cup, which was great a long time ago, but we should have won a lot more in these last few years. So I think if I was a player at Rodrigo, I would worry about that. But I think because we're getting these top players like Gyökeres, hopefully Eze, and then we've got obviously Norgard, Rice, Mendy. I think that definitely convinces more players to come because we know we are building a great team for now. Um, with Aldi, I agree. So if Madueke needs to improve his decision making, he takes a lot of shots, but his finishing isn't great. And that's sort of why I've been a little bit hesitant about him because it's all good you being direct, and it's all good you're great at carrying the ball going forward. But when you're in a box or when you're about to shoot, you're actually going to score because we've actually had quite a few wingers these few years. I mean, the winger that I did like, but I never felt like he was consistent enough was Pepe. I mean, he had those moments where he could really score incredible goals, and I feel as though we need to score different type of goals, like not just ones, in the box. We need, when I score goals outside the box, we do see Saka actually score quite a few different goals. So I feel as though we need to look less predictable. We need to just do different things that teams aren't going to expect. So obviously, Odegaard, I would like to see him get more goals, to be honest with you. I know I speak about Odegaard a lot, but I just see he has a lot of potential and he's a great player. And I just want to see him get more goals for me, like so many of these other players as well. So there's definitely a lot of potential with some of these players, but I think we need to definitely improve in our decision making. Listen, it's not just Madueke's decision making, it's quite a lot of these players. I mean, Havertz at times, his decision making, I mean, he's great. Havertz is great going forward at times, but I just think that he could really be more clinical with his chances. And as Ron mentioned, I mean, if if we do have an injury problem with Gyokeres, who can step up? Because that has happened before with us, actually. I think, didn't Jesus get injured and Eddie Nketiah had to step up? And Eddie did a good job, actually, to be fair. But that obviously, we knew that wouldn't have been enough for us to get over that line. So we do need to make sure we have the right pieces for us going into next season. So if you no disrespect to Gyokeres, but I feel like Arsenal fans are putting too much pressure on him. I don't really trust the hype until I see him play, and that's fair enough because at the end of the day, you can't judge a player until until they've played for Arsenal. So it's like Madueke. I can't judge him 100% because he's not played for Arsenal. I know we're going to speak about him as a player and what we've seen, which is fine, but when he's an Arsenal player, I think we will judge him in a good way, maybe judge him in a bad way if he doesn't do what we need to. But yeah, we need to give these players time. And I think if you're being honest, when you cost a lot of money, you're going to have more pressure on you, to be honest with you, because for example, like say Madueke was 30 million, I don't think it would have been as bad because I think he's practically 15 million with these add-ons. So I think when you're more money, there's going to be a bit more pressure on you because Arsenal paid a lot for you. It's like Havertz was 65 million, and you think that is a lot of money, isn't it? So that's probably why he's had the pressure on him as well. I think because you come from Chelsea, you're gonna have more pressure on you as well. You're gonna have criticism on you because Arsenal, Arsenal and Chelsea have that sort of, we are rivals at the end of the day, and we don't like each other. So I think there's always going to be that on your side as well. Obviously, big up to all of you guys that are watching this. Like I said, don't forget to send in any thoughts, any questions you want me to answer. Obviously, I'm happy to go through all of your questions now as well. Obviously, there's about 30 of you in here, so please do make sure you are smashing the likes and do subscribe to my channel if you are new here as well. As I really appreciate you all joining me today as well. I understand Sporting are being silly, however, as Arsenal are known for delays in deals, look at how long it took us to get Rice, Casado attempts, and now Gyokeres is stalling the board. Yeah, we do take a while. That Declan Rice one was a while, wasn't it? That did really take a long time, which was pretty frustrating, to be fair. So yeah, I just want to go through your questions. Chelsea didn't have a problem with buying Madueke, Quenda, and Asega from Sporting this year. Arsenal need to be strong in the market and compete. I think we're bringing in Gyokeres to show that we are being quite good in the market, and I think we're bringing Eze in, who is actually a proven player in the league. It just shows you that he would be the right fit, and that's why. I mean, obviously, I like to bring players abroad, but I think when you see Eze, he's been in the league for a while. He's got that, he's very consistent in his performances. He's going to help you those goals. And I just think Arsenal need to make sure that's what we do now. Like, we bring in Eze, who's going to help us. So we do have to bring in Eze next. Madueke's inconsistency is a coaching issue, not a talent issue. And I think that's why Arteta brought him in. I heard he wanted him for a while. I mean, I know with Madueke, I think he did sign, was it 4 or 5 years Arsenal? So I do think with him, I think Arteta has shown he can improve players. He can get better out of these players. So I think that is a great quality, to be fair, that Arteta does have. And obviously, I'm excited to see that happen. But I think only time will tell as well if Arteta does improve Madueke or not. Madueke was born and raised in North London. I hope he feels comfortable also being closer to his family and loved ones. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm pretty sure I read somewhere he was at Tottenham at some point. I don't know if he started off at Tottenham and went, moved away. But I think as well, it is convenient if you're at Chelsea and you come to Arsenal. You don't have to move, really, do you? You're in the same area, so I think it's convenient as well. But I've no doubt that the fans will make him feel welcome and happy here. I just think that there's online fans and then there's fans going. I mean, obviously, I think it's completely fine to have our opinion on him right now. I think people are taking that the wrong way, but I think there's a big difference between criticism and abuse. We all know that abuse is not okay, and that's crossing the line. But I think if we're giving our opinions, that is obviously something completely different. Um, we don't have goals, but we don't have got goal born of magic. Most of our goals feel like a result training and routine rather than spontaneous. Yeah, I completely agree. I do think we need to see, obviously, different types of goals for sure. I do think we need to see some surprises, like you said. I mean, I'd love to see a player score and think, I did not think you were going to do that. And we don't ever see that. Like I said, we do look quite predictable. I mean, I watched Arsenal last season and you sort of know what Saka's going to do, you know what Martinelli's going to do. And if we know that, then the players, the defenders are going to know that themselves. So we definitely need to look more exciting, more predictable. And I do think us bringing quite new players will make us look quite fresh, quite exciting to watch. Because I think the first season where we actually challenged for the league, no one expected that. And that's why I think people struggled to predict what we were going to do. Because if you can predict the teams, it's going to be hard to play against them. So I think we need to go back to when we were not looking predictable, when we were just enjoying our football, looking exciting again. So I hope that can happen for us again. Nani had issues with discipline at Chelsea. Nothing serious, just attitude. If he plays half as good as he can, he'll do fantastic. Yeah, there was something that I actually saw on my phone about him. It was to do with like a penalty incident where I think he wanted to take it or something, and he didn't want anyone else to take it. But I mean, Arteta doesn't generally like players with those sort of attitudes. I mean, he got rid of those players like Guendouzi. I mean, we've had other players, but I just want to give him this example. But I think Arteta, it doesn't get on with those players, so I think he needs to. I hope he doesn't have any attitude problems, but Arteta would definitely discipline him and get him in line if he did anyway. So yeah, I do. I think Arteta is definitely a manager that likes to improve players if they're not doing great. He likes to be that hero. He likes to improve players that are going to be good in the future. And obviously, we know that's great, and that's great that he's doing that. But we need players that are going to be good now, not players that are going to be good in a few years' time. So obviously, I really hope that Madueke is going to be a player for now, not really a player for next season, the season after. We know what we need now, and that's going to be the most important thing. So we need to just make sure that we're bringing in the players that are going to help us now, because we have brought players in that have been good, but have not necessarily been players for now, have been probably players for the future. So we need to make sure we are bringing in the right players that are going to help us next season. Sources say that Palace are going to be difficult as well. They want a big chunk of transfer fees straight away for Eze, hence the Simon links. Yeah, I think we're going to have to see what happens with that. Obviously, the Gyokeres thing has been a huge focus at the moment, so I don't really know what is around the corner for that. But I do hope that whatever does happen, that we can just get that done and get it over the line. I really hope we can. I hope next season Arsenal can keep up their threat on set pieces. Seeing rival teams get irritated by it makes me satisfied. Nico Jova is a go. It was funny, at one point we were scoring like every game by set pieces, but if we would do that every day and win the league, I'm not going to complain. If we can just get 3 points, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, I think we are quite good at set pieces. I think we've got a lot of great players, and I generally think that we should just stick with Declan Rice on these like things like free kicks, because I think he's great. I know that was one game that he did great, but I just generally think he's very good at that, and I think he should stick to that. I know we've seen Odegaard do that, but I don't personally think Odegaard's particularly great at doing that. I mean, I remember one free kick Odegaard scored, and I think it was a very long time ago. I don't know if it was against Burnley or another team, but we don't see that enough, and that is obviously our biggest problem right now. Is that it's the consistency of these things that are happening. We're not seeing them enough, and we need to see it happen a lot more. So yeah, I just hope that'll happen as well for next season. All our next season achievements start with Odegaard. Yeah, fair point on that. I don't also trigger Eze's release because it'll turn into a long transfer saga if they try to negotiate. I think Arsenal will try to negotiate because that is what Arsenal do, but I think we just need to give them the money, get it done. But obviously, like I've said, money could be a problem, and if money is a problem, then we just have to sell some players, like obviously Kivior, Zinchenko, etc. We just need to do that. So hopefully we can just get Eze Arsenal. But I do think we'll want a cheaper price for Eze, and they won't want that. Eze is worth that money. He is a great player, and Crystal Palace do deserve that amount of money. Um, Big up 170 good. What's the gossip? Well, I'm just chatting actually about Gyokeres. Well, I'm just going through everyone's questions as well. But yeah, if Gyokeres is taking a bit longer than what expected, I don't think he's going to be on the. He's definitely not gone to Singapore with the team, unfortunately. But I think it will happen next week. I think we'll see that announcement. I think it'll be late next week. I think Mosquera is probably going to be Monday, isn't it? Or Sunday. Yeah, I think that's what will happen. But yeah, it's taken a while. I think the paperwork stuff, all of that, and it is a bit frustrating. But yeah, it's just a waiting game, really. Obviously with Mosquera as well. I think something's happened with his medical. So I think I probably think his medical has been redone or rescheduled because you have to get your medical. If that's okay, then you go for the announcement. So with that announcement, I have heard it will happen before Tuesday. So let's just see what happens. I think like I said we might hear some announcements next week. Big up to all you guys that are watching this. Obviously to those that are new here, I'm just obviously chatting about the transfers, and obviously I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have for me. Obviously please do make sure you are smashing the likes on this video, and please do make sure you are subscribing too. And like I said, feel free to send any thoughts you have. I'm happy to read out your questions as well. Arsenal. I feel like we'll get a deadline surprise. I would love that. I would love like an Ozil type of deadline surprise. That would be absolutely great. He could end up as a Chelsea player if Arsenal don't get the same storage Gyokeres. Yeah, I know Eze has been linked to Chelsea. Chelsea are definitely wanting to improve and strengthen. So I think as well it is very frustrating, isn't it? I hope it doesn't happen, but it definitely will happen. I just want to say big up to Cooper and big up yourself. I hope you're good. I should say hi to those that are new here as well. Big up to his world. Sorry, but all this transfer talk has got me drained. It's not even April next season, and I'm exhausted. Yeah, it's a bit draining. I can't lie. I remember reading an article in May that said Arsenal need to get the striker they need as soon as possible and avoid any transfer saga. I agree, and here we are. Yeah, it's just an Arsenal thing, isn't it, to drag things on and take it out for a lot longer than what it is. Liverpool have always been quite good with their transfers. They do generally wrap their stuff up quite quick, but for us, we take a very, very long time, which is very, very unfortunate. So yeah, I think when the window shuts, we can just relax and just know that we've got these players that we need, and I'll be very happy. But we are taking this out a very long time. We are dragging this out, and it is getting to the point where it is quite frustrating to watch. And the sooner we get this done, the better, of course. To be sort of exhausted, yeah. I feel the same way. Guys, I just need to put my laptop on charge, so just give me 2 seconds. Obviously, send any questions that you have for me. I'll be back in literally 2 seconds. Just pause this. Yeah, obviously I just needed to do that, but I'm back. So obviously, like I said, guys, send in any questions, thoughts that you have for me at the moment, and I'm happy to answer them. Big up PW who says Kepa Chelsea, Madueke permanent Chelsea, Norgard Brentford, Zubimendi Real Sociedad permanent. Yeah, it is funny that we have a lot of Chelsea players, but as long as they're good, as long as they do what they need to do, then I don't have any problems with that. We at Ron. Odegaard needs to score more goals. 1 and 5 is not the numbers of a top Premiership attack midfielder. Yeah, absolutely. It is a worry because it's like I just worry like is Odegaard a player that can score in those high pressured moments, because I can't remember who our last game of the season was, but do you remember he scored a really good goal to win us the game? And I thought to myself, why do you do this when the pressure is off? We need these players to score when the pressure, when we're in high pressure moments. When we're playing against PSG, you want to see some players shoot outside the box, like people said, be unpredictable, try and shoot in different positions. So I think I love Odegaard. I think last season he had a bad season, but I do think it's crazy if people say we should get rid of him now. I think I would give him another season to see how he can be, but I do really think that he needs to score more. I do completely agree with Ron. It is crazy how much, how little goals he's had, and I do honestly appreciate, players are humans and they'll have bad games, they might have a bad week, whatever, but they need to be able to pick up their form. And obviously, if he can't, he does need to be dropped for a while. And Arteta needs to be ruthless and think about the team, think about the league, because Odegaard did play a lot, probably when he was injured and probably when he probably should have had a bit of a break. So I think Arteta needs to realise a few things about that as well. Obviously, big up to Sheldon Johnson. Big up yourself. I hope you're good. Arsenal fans see this every season and they complain anyway. Get in your head. This is how we do things. What other clubs? This is us. Yeah, big up yourself. A great comment from that as well. We got Aldi. I believe Berta sees Gyokeres not just for his quality, but also as a marquee signing to show ambition and attract other players to join. Yeah, I completely agree, because I think if we're bringing in players like that statue, it's really showing you that you can actually attract, other players and other clubs to come to Arsenal. Because I think if you look at Arsenal and you have good players, you don't have great players, I think other teams or other clubs want to join Arsenal. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. We've needed a Declan Rice a while, but I never really thought if he would come to Arsenal because of our lack of silverware, and that lack of ambition, like, to win more stuff. And I think as fans, we need to keep demanding to win stuff. But I always had my worry about, Rice, would he want to come to Arsenal if we're not winning stuff? But he was clearly joining, he clearly sees in a good project, and he clearly likes Arteta. So I think, like you said, I completely agree with you. Aldi, that if we're going to bring in more big players, we're going to attract more big players to come to Arsenal. I do definitely think it plays a part that we've done really well last season in the Champions League, finishing, the semi-finals. I think that's pretty good, to be honest with you, especially that we've not been there for a while. So, I think that is really good for me. I know doing business with Chelsea can be smart, but we shouldn't. It brings concern, pressure on players, and unnecessary media banter due to rivalry. Yeah, I do actually agree with that a little bit, because I think, if we're bringing in a player that's amazing, like, I mean, someone asked me the other day about who's been the best Chelsea player in recent years, and Jorginho is the only one that I can think of. I know Havertz is being good, but I just don't think he's someone that's going to take us to another level. But it hasn't generally been a success, has it, with Chelsea players? And I think it's different if you're going to bring, like, when I was growing up, I loved watching Hazard at Chelsea, and it's like, if we're going to bring in players on that level, then obviously, fair enough, I'm completely behind that. But if the players that aren't particularly great, I do understand why fans would be frustrated, why fans have something to say. So I think it does give you that more criticism coming from Chelsea. I mean, it'd be weird, I suppose, if an Arsenal player went to Chelsea. It doesn't generally happen much these days, does it? We do see a lot of players from Arsenal, from Chelsea come to Arsenal. So um, it's an interesting one. Big up just AJ. Big up yourself. I hope you're good. Good to see you here. Hey, so what signing are you most anticipating for the men and women's team? Oh, what a good question. For the women's team, I don't think I'm necessarily anticipating many for the women's team, because I'm quite happy about them. But I think it's hard for the men's team. I don't really know if the men's team would go for. A good question, actually. Let me just come back for that. Yeah, you guys are having questions in the comments. Yeah, so for the women's team, I'm pretty much happy with all of them, to be honest with you. It's interesting because people have had a few questions about, is Taylor Hines good enough, but I think she's a good squad player. I think people have to appreciate that you're not going to always be a starter when you come to Arsenal. Men's team, I think, obviously, I hope Madueke does good. I hope he does well, I really do. Next year, do you see Arsenal changing the system, as Gyokeres needs long balls with him playing off the shoulders of defenders? I think we should, but I don't know how we're gonna play. I just don't know. I mean, Arteta likes what he likes. To be fair, it's it's that's why I do think preseason is quite important because in pre-season you're going to see how we're going to play differently, and that's why I think it's important to get Gokres there because he will be playing. We will be playing differently in the day. It's going to be a different team, and that's just how it will be. So I do really hope that he can play as soon as possible. Big up Annan. Hey, I hope you're good. Good to see you here. Big up Josh. Olivia Smith. Olivia Smith. Yeah, I can't wait for her. I think she'll do great. I really do. Yeah, she is going to be great. Any updates to the women's team? So, are you feeling optimistic about the next season? Yeah, obviously, I'm really happy that we've obviously announced Olivia Smith. That's an amazing signing, and I have actually heard rumours that we're going to sign another player, and I hope that will be a midfielder. I don't know obviously who we're going to sign, but I have heard that we're going to do one more signing. The women's team, I'll be honest with you, they're getting that done really quick, which I think is what we need to be doing. We need to be getting it over the line, getting it done. Um, Obviously, I don't know. There hasn't been any more updates, but obviously Olivia Smith's been announced, which is amazing. But I do think we'll make another signing. Yeah, Olivia Smith was great last season. I think she was Liverpool's top goal scorer. Um, Big up Josh. The only signing that would beat that for me would be Lena Oberdorf. Yeah, I've watched her a lot actually. I do like her. Um, she has had a few injuries, but I do think she would be a good player. I do. I honestly have a feeling that this could be Kim Little's maybe last season. Maybe you get another season out of her left, but I do really sense that her time is coming to an end at Arsenal, and that's obviously a real shame because I love her as a player, and she's so great. She's a legend of Arsenal, but I think you can tell when someone's time is coming to an end, and obviously that would be a shame. I have heard actually a lot of people say about Leah Volti, about her leaving Arsenal. I've never seen um anything official come out, but I do have my worries if that would ever happen. I hope it wouldn't happen, but obviously we just never know what is around the corner, what can happen if some of these players might leave. I do think we're going to have a big window. I think we're going to see more players leave this summer for the women's team. So for me, a lot more is going to happen. I think we're going to see a lot more. Other new things happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a player in the attack leave, but I think if Archie will go on loan, I think we're going to see that happen. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen next. Do you think the transfer window of the women's team is like 24, 25? Like, is that this is it to win? Yeah, I do think we should be able to win stuff now with that window. To be fair, I think we've done really good. I know Chelsea are doing stuff themselves, but I think we're doing all we can, and I'm really happy with it. I want to see what we're gonna do. And yeah, I'm interested to see what we're gonna do. Obviously next season, if we're gonna bring, obviously, I should see is any more signings going to happen for the women's team. But yeah, an interesting one. Sophie, do you think if we win the Champions League and the Premier League season, it will place us among the world's greatest teams, especially with underrated players like Saka? I mean, if we won both, then I think we'll be unbearable, wouldn't we? But yeah, I would be very, very happy with that. To be honest with you, that would be great. I think we deserve that recognition if we did do that because I think to win both of them in a season would be an unreal thing. Um, if next season only the men's or only the women's team will win a trophy, what would you choose? Where does your loyalty lie? I mean, both of the teams matter to me. I mean, I think it'd be a surprise if the women's team didn't win anything next season with the with the window that we're having. I would be a bit surprised, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Never did I ever think we'd win a Champions League. Like I never imagined us win a Champions League this soon. I mean, I did think the women's team could actually win a Champions League under Rene, but I thought maybe next season, the season after, but I just didn't think we could do it because I knew Barcelona were just a team to beat, and I didn't know if we had it in us to beat them. But we've really shown we could beat anyone on our best day. So yeah, I can't answer that because I want them both to win. But it would be nice to see the men's team for sure win a trophy. I wouldn't be surprised if Kim left, to be honest. She's done it all, but it would be amazing if she left winning the league. Yeah, I do think it would be great. We need to end it on a high, don't we, next season? she has won so much of us. It's just crazy what she's won. She deserves a statue at the Emirates. She really does. I can see changes coming to Arsenal's playing style with Zubimendi as well. Partey was very influential last season, and Zubimendi might significantly reshape the midfield dynamic. What do you think? I mean, obviously, I don't like to talk about Partey too much because we all know that situation. But I think, for being honest, our midfielders going to look quite different next season, and I think with Partey, I think that's the midfield is so different when he's not there. So I do think we might struggle a little bit first, but I do think we'll be good to see Mendy because he's a top player. So many big clubs have wanted him. So I do think that our midfield is going to look different, but we have two experienced players there that can do a good job. We've obviously got Norgard who can step in when we need him to. So I don't have too many concerns regarding that, but I do think it's a good point. And that's why I think pre-season I'm so excited for it to see how we obviously do in that midfield because we just never know what's going to happen and how we're going to do. Um, I think the club owes something big. We've been patient, but we have nothing to show for it. Yeah, we definitely need to make sure that we keep doing what we're doing. We need to make sure that I would love a big sign at the end of the season, at the end of the window, as someone said, it would be nice to see that surprise sign at the end to get us excited. Obviously, Gyokeres gets us excited anyway. Gyokeres is a sign that would pump us up a little bit, that would make us really excited. But um, yeah, I do think we have to win something this season. I've said this so many times. I mean, we can all support Arteta, we can all think he's great, but if he doesn't win anything, then it's hard to keep continuously supporting someone that's not going to win you something. So it has to happen sooner than later for me. Um, I didn't think we had any chance of beating Barca. I'm always hopeful, but not gonna lie, I didn't believe it or see any tactical way we could beat them. Never have I been so happy to be so wrong. And honestly, like going into that final, I thought to myself, do you know what? To get to a final of the Champions League is an incredible achievement. And I thought to myself, we've always got onto the quarters, the semi-finals, and I thought, I don't think we're going to win today, but this team has made me so proud. And then we go on to do it and win it. And obviously, I was so surprised we did it. But the team is a great team, so they deserved it, and that performance was amazing. But I didn't think we'd be that Barcelona side because they've got players like Mate, Pateas, Pina, etc. They're just too good. The player that I'm most excited for the men's team is Zubimendi. Arteta has been chasing this man for the last 3 years. Yeah, I'm excited to see him, but I think Norgard's someone that I feel really excited to see as well. I think people probably weren't excited for him because our midfield's different next season, but um, yeah, I just think it's an interesting one. But I'm excited for all the players to be fair. Do you have a stand for Arteta next season? Is there a point where you'd say I've had enough, I want him gone? It's very interesting with Arteta because I've been quite hot and cold. There's been times where I'm like, Arteta, I back you. There's been times where I'm like, what are you doing? I'll be honest with you guys. There was a time for me where I felt like I couldn't back him anymore, and that was when we got knocked out of. I think it was the Europa League. Do you remember when Villarreal, when Emery was there, Villarreal, when they knocked us out? I think it was a semi-final, and I just thought to myself, he was quite stubborn in that game because I don't know what he did, but I feel like he could have brought on another attacking option, or I don't know if I think he took a Bamiyang off at the wrong time. And I think that was obviously a point for me where I was a bit unsure about him. But to answer your question, this season I think I will give him, there will be probably a point for me where I think, oh, I don't know if you can do this, but I think if it was January and we were in fourth place, I would probably be concerned and I'd probably be thinking about Arteta's future at the end of the season. But if we don't win anything at the end of the season and we come second, then for me, that is it for me. But obviously, let me know about Arteta. I know there's quite a few you watching this now, so obviously let me know when your kind of point might be for you guys because we all have different points of when we want a manager to move on or when we want a manager to stay. But I think if we have the summer that we're going to have and we bring in Eze, then I'll be very happy and I do think we'll win stuff next season. I did see a big up to Joe. I did see we won 3-0. I've not actually seen a lot of it because there wasn't much information about it. But yeah, good that we won. I mean, it's a weird one pre-season. it's hard to take seriously for some of these games. Smith Rowe false line and Granit Xhaka left back. I miss those days. Do you know what I actually think to myself sometimes? Like, I know we've moved on, and it would have been hard for Smith Rowe to get in this team now, but I do sometimes wonder, do we regret moving him on? Like, was his time really done at Arsenal? I know we got quite a bit of money for him, and I think he's happy at Fulham, but I do think for myself, is that going to be something that we'll regret for a long time? Because I just think with Smith Rowe, I just think that he really got us through those tough times, and he's still so young, got potential. I do think with Smith Rowe, maybe one day is he going to come back to Arsenal, you know, maybe in a few years, maybe towards the end of his career, but it's a tough one. I do think he's great. I'm already done with him, fair enough. After the 23-24 season, I said if he doesn't want anything, he should go. Yeah, I mean, I said that at the start of last season, and I've not been totally convinced just yet, but it's a tough one, isn't it, really? But yeah, obviously big up to everyone that's watching this. I really appreciate it. I'll probably stay on here for another 20 minutes, as I know there's obviously I'm really enjoying chatting with you all today, and there's obviously a lot to talk about today. Like I said, if you're new here, don't forget to send any questions you want me to answer, or any thoughts you have that's on your mind. Obviously, really appreciate you all joining me today as well. Like I said, I'll probably stay on here for a little bit longer. Yeah, obviously please do make sure you are smashing likes on this video and that you are subscribing as well. Obviously, when there has to be announcements, I will obviously jump on here and do that. I don't think there's going to be announcements for a couple of days. I mean, you might see Mosquera on Sunday, but I don't think we're going to hear anything at this moment in time. So yeah, let's just wait and see what will happen pretty soon. But there hasn't been any updates right now, to be fair. But obviously, other than Madueke, that's being the news at the moment. Which obviously I'm happy. You know, we do hope Madueke does really well here at Arsenal, and I am rooting for him. It's my first 6 goals last season. Yeah, I know that was very poor from him. It's a very weird one with Smith Rowe because I will always have that soft spot for him. I'll always have a special place. Like, he'll have a special place in my heart because, especially through that tough period, he really dragged us through his games. That's why I'm surprised he had such a poor season last season with those goals. I mean, I think Smith Rowe could easily get 10 to 15 goals between that at Fulham, but it's hard. It's sad how it's ended. He really was great. Him and Zach were a great duo. That what worries me about Arteta. He loves experimenting sometimes at the wrong moments. I hope we can see him be wiser. That's the thing, because there's so many things like that, like we said, that I just don't get. I mean, I don't know why Arteta had that obsession with playing Partey at right back, because I'd rather see Saka right back at that point. Like, I don't know. I think I'm all for experimenting, taking risks. I don't think Arteta is someone that does take risks, which is a shame because I like people. I like risk takers. I think if you take a risk, then there's a good chance that it might work out. I know there's a chance that it can backfire on you, but if Arteta tried something, I'd say to him, "Do you know what, Arteta? Fair enough. You've actually gone for something different. I know it hasn't worked out, but I appreciate that you've taken that risk." And I think if you don't take risks, then you're never going to know how and it will work out. I think I do agree. There's a time and a place. Like, I think in the cup games, you could definitely take risks then and try new things. I mean, people have different views. Like Preseason, and I think that we've missed a chance by not taking him. Um, you know, in that midfield position, we kept retaining him at left back, and it hasn't worked. He isn't good there, so I do feel as though there are times where we need to take risks. There are times where you have to be sensible. I mean, if you're playing against Liverpool, you can't exactly just do something random in the midfield. Or yeah, there's time and place to do it, absolutely. But I think it would be nice to see him take more risks for sure. Smith Rowe is good enough to be at the club. I'll never stop saying that. He was a victim of Mikel's mad desire for physicality rather than technical players. I think, like, with Smith Rowe, I don't have a problem if he wasn't necessarily starting at Arsenal, but there's times, I mean, you see it with the Lionesses the other day, there's times where you need that someone to come off the bench and give you that moment of magic, give you that energy, give you something different in the game, and I feel like Smith Rowe did that. I also appreciate we did need money. We did need money. We needed someone that, you know, could get money for, bring someone else in. I do appreciate that, but we have wasted a lot of money, I do think, on some certain players. I mean, yeah, it was not a success at all. We have had quite a few failures at the club with who we brought in. But yeah, Smith Rowe is a player that I'll always love and always admire. I think he's still got it, but I do hope he has a better season though, to be honest with you. Um, at Fulham next season. I don't think Arteta will be sacked, even if we don't win anything. The team seems too relaxed with where they are, and that's probably why they don't push hard or spend enough to secure our top targets. I think, I've always said, I do think the ownership do think that top four is success, and that is not success. To me, top four is the bare minimum. You have a bad season, you finish top four, that's the worst. But obviously, the best outcome is finishing first, the worst is fourth. So the fact we finished eighth quite a few times is unacceptable, and the board have really allowed that. But in hindsight, Arteta has got us competing where I never thought he would, and that's obviously amazing. It's just now he has to get us over that line next season. Off topic, when did you become an Arsenal fan? What made you fall in love with this club? I love these questions. I'd love to hear you guys' answers as well. Obviously for me, I've always loved Wenger at Arsenal. I never knew much about him, but he was definitely a big factor for me. At the time, we had players like Sanchez and Ozil. Sanchez will definitely be my he's always going to be my childhood hero growing up because he was just unreal. Imagine Sanchez in this team. So, yeah, just watching him growing up, really like Sanchez, the football we played under him was really inspiring. And I know he had a bad defense, but the attack was amazing to watch. So for me, I'd say that, when I started watching in about 2014, 2015, that's kind of what made me be an Arsenal fan, watching the football we played under Wenger. Even in Wenger's not his best years, he still got us FA Cups, he still got us achieving great things. I know the league's the one you want to win, and the Champions League, we weren't ever near success with that. But what I think with Arteta is, I do think when Wenger left, I do think people expected success overnight, and I knew it would have taken us a few years to get back to where we are. Um, I think I think what I'd say about Wenger leaving is the grass isn't always greener. Like, I think with a new manager, maybe people thought at times would Wenger have done better with the money that Arteta's had. So Wenger had to move on. Things have to end at some point. He couldn't have stayed at Arsenal forever, but I think towards the end he did do his best, even though he didn't get a lot of backing from the ownership and the board. But I think, like I said, we just need to be that team again that really won stuff. I know there's so many teams in Arsenal's history, the George Graham era, the Wenger era, but we need to make sure we're going back to where we were and where we should be. So we need to just be ambitious and keep competing and winning stuff. So yeah, to answer your question, that's pretty much it. With the women's team, I actually watched them a little bit later because it wasn't televised then what it is now. So, but yeah, the women's team, I've watched them since like 2018. So obviously, that's the answer for that as well. But obviously, let me guys know when you guys started supporting Arsenal. The long-term danger with the trophy drought is Arsenal's inability to attract a manager or players to change things. Yeah, I do have that question. I really wonder actually when Wenger left, who actually wanted the job. I know Emery was the one that got it, but I do really wonder who wanted that job because at the end of the day, I don't think that job would have been easy for anyone. If Klopp took that job, that would have been really hard for him. It would have taken him a long time, but we would have won stuff with Klopp. We know that. I think Arteta is experienced to a degree. He obviously was under Pep and was that assistant there, but I think when you're an actual manager, it is a completely different story. So it's definitely an interesting one to obviously speak about. But yeah, I do think we have gone on a trophy drought, and that makes it even harder now because time is ticking away, and ultimately it's not helping us, is it? Last time we saw was 2020. It's now 2025. It's too long. It really is. It's too long for me that we've gone too long without a trophy. So it has to happen for me. We have to start winning stuff. I've said this so many times, but we really do. And these players are going to want to leave if we don't win stuff as soon as we can. So yeah, for me that has got to happen for us. We have to make sure that we're back to where we should be winning stuff again. And fingers crossed that we can do that and get back to that Arsenal we know for winning stuff over our history. We have been a successful team, but just recently we're struggling with that. So yeah, hopefully that Arsenal will come back that we all know that's been very, very successful. So yeah, like I said, next season is going to be a big season for Arsenal. We do have to go over that line. We do have to start winning stuff. We have to win the league for me, the Champions League, one of them for me. We have to win. And I do think we can win one of them. It's just obviously it does depend on if we bring in the right players, if that's going to happen for us. So yeah, hopefully it will happen. I really want Arsenal to get that success back and start winning major trophies again. And as fans, we need to keep demanding for that as well. Keep raising our standards as well, talking about what we want as a club and what we expect. Like I've always said, growing up for me, I've always felt like for Arsenal, worst case scenario, we finish top four. Best case scenario, we win a league, we win FA Cup, whatever. So, when we got to a point where we finished 8th and we won FA Cup, it's a weird one because that season we were successful because we won something, but we had a terrible season in the league. So, it's an interesting one, it really, really is. So, yeah, obviously, big up to all you guys. Obviously, if you've got any questions, don't forget to send them in. I'll probably stay on here for like 10-15 more minutes. If you guys do have any other questions, you want obviously to send me in. And obviously, when there is any more breaking news, I will obviously be on here giving you, updates. As right now the Gyokeres thing is gonna take a bit of time. I think, like I said, next week sometime we'll see. So we're gonna have to see. Nice story, Soph. I'd love to know your story, Aldi, if you want to send in how you became an Arsenal fan as well. I'm going to come back to this, so I just want to answer this one. Which would you rather win, Premier League or Champions League? This is probably not going to go down like as a popular one, but I think for the league, it's got to be for me the league because I've never seen us win the league. I know we've never won a Champions League, which would be even better because I know there's people that don't like Arteta. I'm in the middle with Arteta, but anyway, I think if we'd won the league, it would show that we've tried, and we finally got there. So I think with that, obviously that would be amazing, and I'd be really happy about that. The Champions League would be magical because I think we can actually get to a final. Really do. I think we've obviously been there quite a few times. Semi-finals last season was amazing. Obviously, I couldn't get into a final was pretty impressive with the Champions League anyway. So, yeah, I just want to see that happen for us. But the Premier League for me has got to be the one that I think we have to do because ultimately, um, that would be amazing. I think they're both different in so many ways. Like, I think the Premier League is a long process, and you have to be very resilient, determined to do it week in, week out. With the Champions League, you have to have a bit of luck. You have to have, pardon me, you have to just have, the luck of the draw, hoping you get an easier team. So they're very different, but that would obviously be what I want. Big up Just AJ. How many points do you think it would take to win the league next season? That is a great question. I'd probably say I think it's going to be better next season because obviously Liverpool have improved, Man City have improved. Obviously, I've no doubt Newcastle, Villa, Chelsea, etc. are going to improve. So I think the top four, the league is going to be more competitive. I think last season was around 84 points. I think we're probably. I think it could get to about 90 next season, or maybe a little bit less, a bit more. So around 90. I want to see actually what it has been these last few years. Let me just check because last season wasn't the most competitive. So last season it got to 84 points. The season before that, 91 points, and yeah, 89. So I'd probably say maybe less than 90, but sort of near there. Um, um, I'd been Arsenal fans at 2012, right after the 8-2. Oh, I'm still glad I didn't have to experience that, but that would have been a nightmare. Despite that, I saw the way the club played. There was beautiful spirit and something I just couldn't explain. I love this club even though they hurt me. Yeah, I think when I started supporting Arsenal, because you guys, if you guys live in like a different country that's not England, you might not know, but I don't live in London. I'm a northerner, so it was always the clubs around at Liverpool, Everton, Man United. I just didn't like any of them. So, yeah, I just watched Arsenal and then enjoyed what I saw, and then I've just never stopped supporting Arsenal since. So it's worth the pain to be an Arsenal fan, but they do cause us a lot of stress at times. Big up to Justin. Hope you're good. What is going on with Victor? Are we going to sign him or not? Tell me. Um, you guys are the ones who is bringing the report about the transfer now. Tell me. Yeah, so obviously with Viktor Gyokeres, I think it's pretty much going to happen next week. Let me read you. I'll read you obviously what I said before about it. So there has been a full agreement. The journalist Ben Jacobs did say Arsenal now close to full agreement with Gyokeres, hoping the breakthrough will be over the weekend with a small portion of add-ons are still under discussion. So I think it's just a money situation is going to be under discussion, and we're going to probably hear that. I did actually, people did tell me that his medical was on Friday, but I think because of the negotiations, that has obviously stalled it a bit. Like I said, he won't be there in Asia. Obviously the team already flew out, so yeah, that's pretty much happy with that. But yeah, obviously, that's really exciting to see. Hopefully, we're close to full agreement. So Justin, that's obviously pretty much the latest deal. So hopefully, we'll hear announcements soon. Be upfront. Do you think the influx of Chelsea players who already won things coming to Arsenal because of wanted to stay in London, Champions League has impacted the mental attitude of the side? A good question, to be fair. I mean, I think if I'm a Chelsea player and I'm coming to Arsenal, I think I'd just see it as a fresh start, because I think with Madueke, like I do think he can improve. I do think there's enough level that you can get to. So maybe that's the part of it. But obviously, I do think he could. I think Arteta could get more out of him, for sure. But um, yeah, obviously it'd be interesting to see what will happen, but I definitely think because both we're in the Champions League, Chelsea in the Champions League, I suppose it gets more heated and exciting. But I think when you are in the Champions League, you are going to get more players. You are going to get much more quality players come to your club. So I think that definitely plays a part. What's your prediction for the top 7 next season? Oh, thank you for that question. That's really good. This isn't in order because obviously the window hasn't shut yet, and I don't know what we're gonna do. But I think for me, I think obviously the top 4 for me, I definitely think it would be Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. Obviously not in that order. I don't know at the moment. The 4th position's interesting. I think obviously from 4th to 7th, I think could be maybe Newcastle 4th, Chelsea 5th. Villa, yeah, who I think would get 7th? That's an interesting one. Um, I think United have got a shot, but I don't know if United could get 7th. Maybe 7th United. Um, Tottenham is an interesting one. Actually, I forgot about Tottenham. Right, hold on, let me just do it again. So obviously, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, maybe Chelsea slash Newcastle. So Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, Spurs slash United. I think one of them might get there. I hope Spurs could just keep going lower down in the league because they they were terrible. We'll be doing a watch song for the upcoming preseason match against AC Milan. Let me see. Is that on Wednesday? Because I don't know if I'm going to be here. I'm actually away somewhere on Tuesday, but I will definitely do. Yeah, I won't be here on Wednesday, but I'm happy to do actually one against Newcastle on the 27th actually. So I will definitely do watch longs for the preseason games for sure. Obviously just for that one I won't be here, but I will do some for more of them because hopefully that'll be exciting to do. I enjoy preseason. I know everyone has their own opinion on it, but I think it's quite interesting to see how these new players do. Which team do you think will win tonight, France or Germany? I'm obviously excited for that game tonight. Um, I'd probably say France. I think France have really shown their quality, obviously in the group stages, and obviously they're doing really well. I think they're very tough to play against. I think Germany probably need to progress because they've not really won in a while, and I think to get to a semi-final, I think that's pretty good to be fair. So I'd say France, but obviously if Germany get through, and fair play to Germany, they do deserve that. Arsenal have released their travelling squad to Singapore. You might take a look. Max Downham is in it. Yeah, let me just check with Twitter. Let me just have a look now. Actually, I want to just. Yeah, I did see Max Downham's there, which I think is really good. Germany, please. Yeah, I think if it came down to it, I'd rather face Germany if we had to. I don't think I'd want to face France again. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna read you your fans tricky. There has been a squad obviously announcement that are going to the tour. Thank you, Aldi, for that. Obviously I feel like I'm gonna pronounce so many of these names wrong because I don't watch tons of the academy, but obviously David Raya is going, Saliba, Ben White, Gabriel Magalhaes, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli, Julian Timber, Kepa, Kivior, Norgard, Zinchenko, Trossard, um, even Waneri, Marino, Wistelson, Lokonga. By the way, guys, why is that Lokonga come back to Arsenal? I'm pretty confused about that. Havertz, Calafiori, Tommy Setford, Steve Mendy, Louis Copley, Declan Rice, Cabia, Josh Nicholas, Skelly. There's one there I just don't want to pronounce because I'm going to get it wrong. Max Downing, Andre Harriman, Marley Salmon. I apologise, I probably pronounced that wrong, but obviously, guys, there's quite a lot of academy players, younger players going through, which I think is great. I'm quite happy about that, to be fair. I hope we're going to see a lot of the academy players get that chance. Yeah, so obviously, it's good to see. We've got quite a lot of defenders going, actually. Um, I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm a bit baffled about Lokonga because it's not going to work out. So why is he here? Sorry, but we need to move on. We need to be ruthless to these sort of players, honestly. I don't have a clue what's happening with Gyokeres. Well, obviously, from what I've said, if you've just joined now, I'm going to read you what Ben Jacobs on Twitter said. Arsenal are now close to full agreement with Gyokeres. Hope is the breakthrough will happen over the weekend with a small portion of add-ons or in discussion. So I think it's just a money thing that's still obviously under discussion. So that's obviously the latest on that. So hopefully, actually, we're going to hear it happen soon because I know they are making us wait, but I think it will happen. We're going to hear some new stuff as well. I hope the Conga finds a new club soon. I don't know where to everyone to Singapore, but I'm glad to see plenty of academy players. Yeah, I'm really excited to pick up to Aldi. I'm really excited to see that because I think you've got to give these academy these chances to really play and get these opportunities. And we are going to see a lot of weaker sort of. I'm not going to see a strong team in these preseason games, but I think preseason for me is all about these young players, all about these players who brought in the academy, testing new systems, testing new things. That's exactly what you're going to do. So I hope that Arteta will do that. So I'm going to come back to this. Big up Dragon, you're not wrong. I'm surprised he hasn't been moved on. I'm not funny. I don't get what Arteta has brought him with us. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have a sneaky feeling that Arteta might keep Lokonga with the squad this season because of the midfield situation. Because we might struggle with our midfield, but I'm sorry, but I see it as it's like the same with if it would have worked out by now, it would have, and it hasn't. So ultimately, that's why we are where we are right now. So I think Arteta needs to be more ruthless, to be honest with you guys, to be completely honest. Um, we buy a lot of players, so this season we must take everything Champions League and Premier League, FA Cup, and other cups because if we fail to take everything, we are going to sack Arteta. Yeah, we definitely have to win stuff in the season. We have to get, that silverware is going to be so important. So I completely agree with you there. I really do hope that that can happen. It has to happen. We need to see us get that silverware, like you said, the cup competitions, the League Cup, the FA Cup, the League of Champions League. We have to make sure we are winning, getting that success. So, yeah, big up, Justin. I completely agree with what you're saying. I think that's so true. I think if we have the right players, I still think we can do it. So, fingers crossed, we can obviously do that. I actually heard, I don't know if you guys heard about what Henri said. I think Henri is quite optimistic about us probably optimistic about us winning stuff under Arteta. So hopefully we will. I want to read you. Henri actually said that Arteta's doing a good job. Do I think he should be sacked? Hell no. Do I think we're going to win a league this year? Yeah. And do you guys think he's being optimistic and just hoping that we win stuff? I mean, I always say to you guys, if you don't think Arteta can get over that line, then if you want him out, fair enough. Like, we are all entitled to our different opinion, but I think I wouldn't ever say something if I didn't believe it. Like, I'm not going to say here, I think we're going to win the league if I didn't believe it. Obviously, I can't say that right now. I think if we get Gyokeres and Eze, I do think we can win the league, but obviously with the squad, I don't think we can right now. But I think everyone's entitled to not think, he's the man. Obviously, my opinion at this moment in time is that I do have those worries if he can get us over the line. Obviously, I hope he can, but we just don't know what is around the corner. So I think United go on strike didn't help. Sporting have issued with Danish players wanting, join UV. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sporting, to be fair. What worries me the most, if we don't win anything, some of our key players might start rethinking their careers and decide to leave. Yeah, that's the big problem. Right now, we're okay because we finished second, we finished in the semi final. It's not successful for me. It's not good enough for me. Like, obviously the Champions League, I was so proud of that campaign, but ultimately we're not winning stuff, are we? And I'm with you. I think I don't know if you guys agree, but I've always had my doubts about Saliba. Like, I mean, if someone offered you to go to Madrid, you're gonna go there. You're gonna win so much stuff. You're not gonna say no to that. So I had my doubts. I'm not gonna be surprised. I really wouldn't. I think that's a big problem that we're having now. Be at PW. Saliba will leave if we don't win anything. That will start a lot of issues for us. Yeah, I think if you see one player leave, then you're probably going to see quite a few leave after, because I think if you see Sleeper leave, you might think, well, if he's going, then I might go somewhere. So we need to make sure we keep the squad that we have now. And that's obviously why that success is so important. We need to make sure that we do get over the line, we do keep winning stuff to take us to another level. So obviously, hopefully that we can do that. I really hope that we just bring in the right players this season. That's why we need these top quality players that are going to be good now, not players that are going to be good next year, because that's what we do under Arteta. We bring players in that are good maybe in another season, but we all know we need players that are good now, that players that are going to take us to another level now, not players that are going to be useful in a few years' time. We all know that we need players that are going to be impactful now. So yeah, Arteta does have to get right this summer. He really does, but he probably knows himself. He's under that pressure himself, but we need to make sure that he is the right guy to take us over that line, for sure. So I do hope that we can win stuff with Arteta. I just think that he needs to get it right now. He really does. But yeah, like I said, obviously there is, like Aldi said, there's a game next week on Wednesday, I think. So I will probably do a review for that in the evening, because I'm going to be traveling that day. So obviously I can't do a watch along. I will try and do a watch along for more of the games as well. Obviously, let me just have a look at the games. So yeah, I think we have Newcastle after that, don't we? So yeah, obviously the 23rd of July we have a new 23rd of July next Wednesday we have Milan. Then we have Newcastle on the 27th of July, followed by Tottenham on the 31st. And then the games in August, I do actually think we'll probably see Gyokeres, Mosquera, Madueke. Obviously we've got Villarreal on the 6th of August. Then we've in the Emirates Cup we've got Arsenal vs Athletic Club on the 9th of July. And then the big game against United away, which I'm excited for. I feel pumped for that game. I think if we've got Gyokeres, there's no reason why we can't go into that game feeling pumped and excited. So yeah, I'm excited. I really am. I can't wait to see how that plans out. So there's definitely like a lot of exciting things coming up for Arsenal with these games. But the preseason's back, which I'm excited about. Those are the big games that you wanna obviously watch. I'm excited. I think because we've done so good. Obviously with the players that we're bringing in, and I do feel like it's quite exciting. So I feel as though we do. There's always hope. There's always reasons to be optimistic about this. So I'm very very excited to see these players that we're bringing in. Obviously, like we said, we're all going to have our own favourites of players who we want to see. Obviously, the midfield I'm really excited for. Norgard's even really excited for. But like I said, in the attack we do want to see how well we do with these new players. big up yourself. I don't want to pronounce your name because I know I'll get it wrong, but obviously big up to yourself. New Arsenal players, big up yourself. I hope you're good. Obviously good to see new people in here. Obviously, guys, if you're new around here and just watching this for the first time, please be making sure you are subscribing to my channel, and please do make sure you are smashing them likes on this video. I'll probably stay on here till this is on about 30:30, so I'll probably stay on here for about 5 more minutes. But like I said, please do send in any questions, any thoughts you obviously want me to read out, as I'm more than happy to obviously go through your questions. Also, big up to you guys as well for joining me today, because I've really loved chatting with you all. Like I said, I'll be on here for a little bit longer. But like I said, next week is going to be exciting. Obviously I will be doing watch alongs, because I know I've done watch alongs before. I don't usually do watch alongs for the men's team, because I'll be honest with you, with the men's team, it's very much so many people are going to do it, so it's going to be quite a crowded space. But obviously I'm more than happy to do that in the pre-season as well. With the women's team, I think we're going to hear. Someone said on here last week that the fixtures will be announced for the women's team. So for the women's team, I will obviously come on here and give you guys, the fixtures announcement and do that stuff as well. Big up Russian. Going to the Newcastle match next Sunday. Hope Gokres makes it on time. Yeah, I just never know what's happened with Gokres. I really don't. I've lost hope at this at this point when he's actually going to play. I don't know when he will actually be playing for Arsenal, but I do think it's be sooner than later. So that's definitely really exciting. I heard the Emirates will be renovated soon. I hope it's true, because the stadium feels very outdated, but I'm worried it might impact the club's finance like it did. Yeah, I think there has definitely been a lot of changes like outside the Emirates when I've been in the past. I've not been for a while, but um, I think I went to a game last season. When I went, you could definitely see the outside of the stadium has changed, which I think is nice, because you get to see more of like the women's team and stuff like that, in the murals and stuff. But there definitely should be a few changes inside, but at least not as bad as the other teams, because don't United have have a leaky like stadium? At least we're not as bad as that, to be fair. But yeah, that'll obviously be pretty good if that is the case. But yeah, good point there. Obviously, big up to Russian as well. Obviously, big up to all you guys. If any of you obviously go on a tour or going to the Emirates Cup games or any of that, obviously I really hope you enjoy that as well. But I'm really excited to see, obviously, the games coming up. I think it's a very exciting time for Arsenal. Obviously, the Gokres announcement we need to hear, because that will take us to another level of excitement. So yeah, obviously I really hope that that can happen, because that will definitely really excite us a lot, and I can't wait for him to. I think the day Gokres gets announced, we'll all be pumped up, we'll be like really happy. Big up Justin. Hope you're good. Gokres is world class player. Please bear to sign him, because I trust in him this season, in our season, and feel that we can take some cups. Yeah, I definitely think Gokres will win something for sure. Like I said, I wouldn't ever put pressure on players in their first season. We can only hope and pray that the players that we bring in are going to do good, but I do think it's important to give them the benefit of the doubt and just. Obviously, I do expect him to get us like 30 goals in his first season. I probably expect maybe 15 to 20. But then I know how the season after that he's adapted. He'll know how the Premier League is, and he'll get better and better. Can't wait to hear the Gokres chant. Yeah, that'll be great. I can't wait as well. I'm excited to hear that as well. Be up the Otaguna. The transfer window has just become an entertainment show, dragging out big transfers to keep people talking. Fabrizio and other journalists. It has definitely dragged out a lot. It has been quite a frustrating one. I will give you that, because I think there's been so many players that we've talked about, and you think to yourself, are we actually getting them? Are we not getting them? Like, it's so confusing about what we're actually doing. But obviously, when we've got these players done, that'll be the most important thing. And like I said, when there's ever any updates, I will of course update you guys with that, and I hope that we'll hear some more news soon as well. Obviously, the Gokra situation has dragged out far too long, and I know we're all quite tired and frustrated, but I am hoping to hear some more news about that as well. I want to hear your thoughts on the Ashburton Army. Do you think their presence has made Emirates more lively and stopped it from feeling like a library? It's interesting, because everyone has so many different views on them. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all personally. I mean, people have their views. I mean, it's like the North London Forever song. Some people hate that. I mean, I would say the majority of the fans like the North London Forever song. With the Ashburton Army, it does really much divide fans. It doesn't bother me at all. I think I'd rather have a good atmosphere than nothing at all because, as you said, we weren't known as sort of a library because we were quite quiet, but at games it's always very loud and exciting. So I don't think we have that problem anymore. Like it doesn't bother me at all because I'd rather it be a loud and exciting atmosphere than not be an atmosphere at all. But I get it does bother some certain fans. So a good comment as well. Big up. Obviously let me know what you think, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, if I'm at a game, I'm not really focused on any other things. And obviously, watching Arsenal does help you when you're at a game that the atmosphere is top. It is really good, but obviously, I'm interested to see how the atmosphere is going to be next season. The atmosphere will tell you has improved massively. These last few years. I mean, under Wenger, I'd never went to a game under Wenger. I only went under Arteta, but apparently the atmosphere there wasn't great. I mean, when you watch Arsenal now, you can hear on the TV how loud and passionate the fans are. So that's obviously a really good thing. But it's an interesting conversation because I do think that it's better now than when it was. The atmosphere has definitely improved. The only game I watched with Gyokeres, he was average. I don't think he's average personally. I think he's a very good goal scorer. His stats are unbelievable. But I think people are probably expecting him to be a lot better than what he will be in his first season. I think he needs time to adapt and time to get used to playing at Arsenal and playing with his new teammates and under a new manager. So I think people need to be a bit patient with him regarding that. But I'm excited to see him play. I think it will be really exciting to see what he can bring to the team. And yeah, I do think he's a very good goal scorer. He's definitely someone that is going to take us to another level and is going to improve us a lot. So I'm really excited to see him personally. Obviously, big up to you guys. I'm going to end this in a few minutes as I have been on here for an hour and a half, but it's gone so quick for me. Obviously, big up to all of you that have joined me because like you guys have been watching for a long time and yeah, I really enjoyed chatting with you all today. So obviously big up to all of you guys that have joined me. It's been so lovely to chat with you all. I like them because they change the atmosphere at the Emirates. The chants and the drums sound really get the fans more fired up. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, people might not like it, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like it. I really do. I also like how the announcer now calls out the players' names with so much passion. Yeah, I think it's definitely great. It's definitely improved these last few years, the atmosphere for sure. So yeah, big up Aldi as well. I do think the atmosphere is much better than what it used to be. But yeah, big up to all of you as well that's been watching my show today. I've really enjoyed chatting with you all. Like I said, when there will be official announcement, I will come in here and do an update. But obviously, at the moment, unfortunately, there isn't an announcement about Gyokeres. But it definitely looks like it's been agreed. It's pretty much going to happen. So I'm really excited about that. But like I said, when there's any updates, I'll come on here, I'll let you all know, and I'll be back with that. But like I said, I hope you'll have a wonderful evening. It's been so lovely to chat with you all today. I've really, really enjoyed doing this video. And please do make sure you are liking this video if you're currently watching, and to make sure you are subscribing. And I hope you'll have a wonderful evening. Thank you all so much for watching my show today, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, guys.